Hello to everyone who is watching me, who is going to watch this live stream tonight. And today I chose such a topic and want to discuss the marriage institution today and what it was before in the other times of our history. And hence, to find the difference between the marriage in the past and now. And also, I will share with you with what I hear from local men and women about the official marriage, why people still need it or don't need, and so on. And I expect you will take active part in this talk tonight and share with me what you observe next to you at your place in your country concerning official marriage. So if we talk about the start of marriage, the history of it, first of all, it was started when people felt that it was much easier to live together than just alone. And there were different ways to make the marriage, and one of them, and it was quite rare in ancient times when people got married just because of love, romantic love, and they could choose. Usually, again, it depends and differs from one society to another, from one country to another. But one of the ways when people got married, it's when their relatives, their parents were choosing the spouse because of choosing someone of the same level or the higher social status, or because of some plans for the future, and so on. And in this case, people didn't have enough of freedom to make choices themselves, and often they saw each other just before the marriage or the wedding. Another way how people connected, it was again the matchmakers in ancient times. Of course, they didn't work like we do now. In modern times, they were rather usually women. Everyone knew about them, and they could connect right people. And again, one of the criteria, one of the biggest, the most important criteria was the social status and the same social level, or men should be of better, or women could be a high social level. So it was very important at this moment. And of course, there were different types of families or marriages when it was monogamy, as it is the most well-spread type of marriage nowadays too. And also when a man could have several wives. And the third type is when women could have several husbands, but it's not so well spread. And the most since 16th century in Europe, the romantic marriage became more popular, but still not very well recognized by society, not desirable in many cases. But still, there were some brave couples who didn't follow the rules, and still they got married because of their love. And when we talk about today times, what I see when I talk with men and women, while in the second part of 20th century, women got more independent. We can make money ourselves. We can live without men already, and society doesn't say anything bad about it. Now I am talking about Ukraine, Russia, Europe, US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, such countries. There is one reason to make marriage, to go into marriage for men and women, is love, understanding, support, intimacy, closeness of the souls, and so on. As you know, in ancient times, marriage was also happening because of necessity to prove the rights of man for the child, and this way man was sure that this child is from him. Nowadays, sometimes in our country, we meet such cases when man doesn't take care about kids at all, and women live independent life, and they can provide their kids too. So the same is about men. When you talk about with even local people, men and women, they both tell that there is no sense to live together if you don't have this type of support, trust, love, because all the economical issues you can solve yourself. As for some home housework, you can hire someone to help you, and so on. And even there is decision for getting a child if you don't have a wife or if you don't have a husband. So the only reason nowadays to stay together is just this emotional connection and trust and so on. But there is a trick also in it, because there is also a theory that there are hormones influencing our decisions, and during the first 3 years of life together, people can be in love thanks to hormones, but then things get worse in some cases and in some couples. And in this case, people get divorced, they don't feel connection, and they can allow living a single life too. And more and more, I meet people here who are in search of love. I think it's our basic need too, for being connected with other human being, being loved and to love. But at the same time, I see there are maybe again, thanks to my job, many single women applying to us, very intelligent, high class, I would say. Some are making very good money and very well taken care, and so on. And the same type of men, very intelligent, successful, and so on. But all of them are single. They are looking, in general, the same things in life. They need this type of relationships to enjoy life, to have more fulfilled life. But at the same time, we have many single people like that. And for me, it's like a paradox, because on the one hand, there are many single men and women who look for relationships, meaningful relationships, but at the same time, somehow they can't connect. And from what I hear from girls, women, many of them still, they don't use online sites, and they are kind of, how to say, shy to use them. They're afraid of stigma of someone of their friends to see them on such websites, and so on. And as for men, even local men, successful men, and the same is about foreign men, many are so much busy with their job. They don't have enough time to go somewhere to meet someone in person, or they don't want to spend time online on dating sites, especially when foreign men face scamming. So our local man told me about these scam stories too, when girls ask something from them very quickly, just online. So I think that in a scam, it's not only about foreign men. So nowadays, the only condition for marriage is love and emotional connection, and when people are similar in many things. And if we look at the rules, how people were chosen for marriage before, in the other times, it was also about a similar social level. So when I talk with clients and we discuss the choice of match, I will always tell about similarity in many things. Sometimes it's difficult to compare social levels, social status, because if we talk only about financial foundation, because Ukrainian people are paid different than people in US, for example. But at least we can see the intelligence level, the cultural level of each person in a couple, and we can connect people who are kind of similar. So dearest, maybe you share with me what you think about official marriage, why you need it or you don't need it, and what about situation in your country with it? I see today our live stream is not so much active. The next Wednesday there will be a new guest, psychologist, and we will talk about manipulations from Ukrainian women that you can face sometimes, and I hope it will be helpful for you. But today I finish if there are no other questions, and we meet the next week. Goodbye to everyone.